Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journal. Welcome back to my channel and to another bullet journal setup video. This weekday, today, we are setting up for March using various bits and pieces I'm showing on screen at the moment. So primarily what I'm using is the B-Day kit from the Advent, plus some of the papers that came with it and stuff like that. So this was in the Plannerface Advent for 2024, but is now available as a standard journaling kit and a creative kit on Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use Tilly to save 10%. So if you want to pick up 2 of the sheets I'm using of the stickers and the papers, you can, plus some bigger deco. So that's what we're working with. And the papers, the 4 A5 papers that I use, they're slightly smaller than A5, but you know what I mean, come in the creative pack along with a big deco sheet, so you can definitely pick up most of what I used from Plannerface there. I'm also using these bee stickers that are in that reusable sticker album were from a Japanese shop, and were just a load of bees and stuff, so I pulled them off the roll to make it a bit quicker when filming, and yeah. So I used those as well, and then the Tombow colours I pulled out for this. So I've used 3 different yellows, which were 062, 055 and 025. Then the green I've pulled out is 126, the grey is N35 and the pink is 772. So I think that, and then the 2 washi tapes I pulled out. The one with foil on is from Simply Gilded and has little bees on it, and the floral I don't actually know where it came from, it's just one I acquired. So we have already finished my cover page and are well on with my monthly spread by the time I've told you all of that. So I'm just going to go over my monthly spread a little bit. So essentially I was actually going to do this in the other direction, but it ended up this way because essentially there was a dirty mark on my page that I don't know where it came from, but to get rid of the dirty mark I did it in the top left to bottom right, and I really like how it came together. I just layered some different stickers from the journaling kit and from the washi roll with my scripts. I did use a script for this, and I just printed off all of my scripts on clear transparent sticker paper. And that was really all there was to my cover page. I am now working on my monthly spread, which, as you can see, I'm doing as a calendar, but I am doing it as a as a hexagon calendar, just to emulate that bee-ness. And then I just do some decoration around the edges of the page as well. And then I put in the palest yellow, which is the 062, I put the dates in the squares. And it is a Monday start calendar because I am British and that's what makes sense in my brain anyway, is a Monday start calendar. But yeah, I was going to tell you what font it is that I'm using. Let me just look it up whilst I am recording. There's nothing really too complicated about this page. I just layered some bits from, I layered some of the stickers with bits from the journaling kit, etc, and just tried to make it look full but not too busy. These other sticker papers I use are available obviously at Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, by the way, so you can use Tilly to save 10%. It's not valid on things like Advents and custom scripts, but is valid on most things. So anything else I have to say? Just generally, I am actually setting up this monthly, I think I actually set it up at the end of January. It is actually February when I'm recording this voiceover, but it's only the 11th, so I'm recording the voiceover 10 days before this video comes out, and it's really weird doing it so far before, but at the same time I know that it's a good way to get ahead, and I don't really know what to do about filming my things going forward because I don't know what spreads I'm going to want once Bubby is here, so I'm a bit 50-50 on what I do about April. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know down below, because actually I should be filming it this weekend if I keep up with my 2 to 3 videos a week. I should have actually filmed it last weekend, but I was ill last weekend. but oh well. So the font is actually called Be Cute, and is lovely, and I really like it. I think it's perfect for this sort of spread. What I haven't told you is any times or anything. So the entire footage for this setup was 2 hours and a minute, just to give you an idea. My cover page took me 5 minutes and 18 seconds. The monthly spread took quite a long time, mostly because of drawing all of those hexagons, and that does not include the time it took me to figure out where the hexagons were going to be and how to draw a hexagon on a graph on dotted paper nicely. So that it was quite a long time at 21 minutes and 19 seconds. The sales page, which is dead simple. Basically, with the sales page, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a sticker on there every time I make a sale in March. I'm expecting to make a few more in March because I am releasing the July start planners in March. So there's that. So that's why it's a full page. Then my self-compassion that I'm working on at the moment took me 7 minutes and 15 seconds. To be honest, the vast majority of that was probably the second line highlight. I just find it much easier to read and do things with when it's like that. And I've given myself a full sheet this month because, yeah. And then I decided to add a little bit more deco in that bottom right page. Next, we are moving on to my trackers. So we're going to have my steps and sleep tracker. And similarly to February, I don't know what I was trying to say, but I nearly said similarly to vegetarian. I'm doing these as bar graphs, but I thought I would do them both from the centre going out because I thought that would look pretty cool. So I've got, on the left, I've got steps. And then on the right we're doing some sleep tracking, so I'm just popping in some ripped paper bits and some things to give my headers somewhere to sit on. And then, as you can see down the centre of the page, I have all 30 working days, and then at the bottom of the page I have the numbers 0 to 12, so that's either hours of sleep or 1,000 steps. So 4 is 4,000 steps, so that goes up to 12,000, and my sleep goes up to 12 hours. That's never going to happen, but you know. Those two trackers took me 4 minutes 44 seconds to set up. On to the other side of the paper, we are first doing a mood tracker, and then the other side of the page is going to be a brain dump space and a currently space. So this whole spread took me 9 minutes 24, and I actually really like how it came out, but it was a bit of a struggle to get it there. So my mood I've done in basically the same way as my other two trackers on the other page, as in the sleeping steps, but it only goes up to 10, so it's a mood out of 10, and again I'll draw it as a bar graph. Sorry. I am currently getting over a sickness bug, and I can tell my voice isn't right. I don't know whether you guys can, but it's actually going to be true for quite a few videos because I've got like 4 voiceovers I'm trying to film. So yeah. That is the mood tracker, and then at the top I've got the brain dump. I don't leave very much space for my monthly brain dump because, to be honest, I sort of do a brain dump when I am setting up my goals, so there's that. And this is just me trying to work out how to make this currently section work. So I've got the scripts of the different titles, and then I will write in the currentlies. So the titles I use are playing, feeling, watching, reading, loving, in the news, eating, drinking, crafting, celebrating, which I really like, but I've just put those all down one side, and then I will write in the gap on the 1st of March. And that's it for that page. So we are on to the next page, which is actually a double page spread, and this is for my silver linings. This is basically 3 good things that happened that day. The idea is to be like a positive, I don't know, like, it's a bit like gratitude, but it's not necessarily good things I'm grateful for, it's good things about the day. And that can, like, I've been quite poorly the last few days, and it's literally been cuddles with my husband multiple times, or I took care of myself, stuff like that. I'm keeping the decoration pretty simple on these 2 pages. I'm doing it in the top left and top right and bottom left, and then just everything else is these line highlights. I don't put any dates or anything in this because essentially what I will do is I would take up the amount of space I need that day, and that it just will take up what space it takes up, and if it doesn't reach all the way down to the bottom of the second page, I'll either add some decor in at the bottom, or I will just like write some general positive things about the month overall. So those 2 spreads took me 7 minutes 43 to set up. there. Now we are moving on to my habit tracker. I have a way I quite like to do my habit tracker, which actually leaves quite a lot of space for decoration on this page, and this I think might be the only page that I pulled in the washi, but that's fine, it doesn't really matter. So what I like to do is essentially a calendar where each square is 3 by 3, like 3 dot spaces by 3 dot spaces. So like you draw on the 4th line, if that makes sense, and each of those 9 spaces represents a habit, and then you colour in or so I either colour in or put a dot in it if I did or did not do the habit. And then I've just got my little key at the bottom saying what those 9 habits are. It allows me to both see like if there's a particular habit I'm slacking on, or if there's like a pattern in the days. It lets me see both at a glance really quickly, and I really like that. I'll probably change it up in April because I'm a bit bored of this, but also I really like it and it's really functional, so maybe I shouldn't change things that aren't broken. I don't know. So yeah, I've got all that deco at the top, and then I'm just adding some more in this bottom right corner, and then I'll add a bit around just to fill up any gaps in space. So that habit tracker took me 7 minutes 53 to set up. Next up, we're on to a page where currently I will only just do the base of the page, and that is my action steps. So what this is my goals are broken down into actions that need to be done to complete them, essentially, and this is where I track whether those actions have been done. I like to do it next to my habits, because actually habits is generally a part of it, because they're my daily action steps. So yeah, that's why I like those 2 pages together, and it is just a place to track. So I'll have a weekly section, a project section where you do a little bit at a time, and a one-off section where you do everything at the same time. And that, because it was just a title really, it took me 2 minutes 44 to set up. Similarly, the next spread is just a title, and it is my memories spread, and this took me 2 minutes 37, and all of the deco was at the top of that page. So I'm now actually on through to my monthly review page. So my review page took me 16 minutes 45 to set up, so the second longest in this spread, and essentially this is at the end of the month. I'll go in and sort of look at my wins and goals for the month and things like that, and like what did I learn, etc, etc. So I split this review into 7 sections. So on the left hand side I have wins, lessons and next month. So wins is anything that good that happened this month, lessons is anything that went wrong or I learnt. So for example, like looking after myself when poorly. You can learn from both hard things or from wins. So looking after myself when poorly is important, is one of my lessons this month. And then the next month section is just anything I need to think about for the next month and what I want to do going forward. And then at the other side we have a section for goals, which is basically where I reflect on how I've got on with my goals. Budget, similarly reflect how we've done on our budget for the month. Habits, where I reflect on my habits, and my mood, where I reflect on my mood. These are the things that matter to me. I know lots of people do monthly reviews in different ways. This one is kind of based on something Jashi Corinne did, so there's that. So that's kind of all of the main pages of my setup. That's not quite true. We're going to do another two-sided piece of paper after this. I've said this how long this took yet. After this, for my sugars and my goal plan, and this is going to move from week to week, and then I'm going to set up a weekly as well, so there's still quite a lot to go really. As you can see, I'm just adding second line highlights to the monthly review. I go back and forth about whether I should do my monthly review every week, like whether I should just do a little check-in with it every week and be like, oh, these are the things so far, but then I worry about running out of space. But maybe I shouldn't do like every section, just do like, because my mood and habits and budget and even my goals, to be fair, like maybe I should just go in and look at wins, lessons and next month every week and do things like that. By the way, while I'm doing these second line highlights, I'm realising that I should have done that before I put all the stickers down, but I didn't. But luckily they're on removable mats, so it's quite easy to peel up and stick them back down. Then I was like, oh, it just looks a bit bare. So then I go through and just add some decoration. I don't have very much left of this kit to use in the weeklies, but we'll see. There is only 4 weeks in March the way I'm doing it, and this will be at the end of Q1, which is ridiculous to me in some ways, but yeah. So yeah, now we're on to this 2-page spread that will go into each week with me. So the first side of that is my blood sugars. If you do not know, I have been diagnosed with gestational diabetes. My blood sugars have generally, touch wood, been okay so far. I'm due to see, at the recording of this, I'm due to see the diabetic team midwife and have a growth scan on Thursday. It's Tuesday when I'm filming this, so I really hope I'm better enough to go to that appointment, because I feel like rubbish at the moment. But I hopefully will be, because it'll be like a full week since I got poorly. But essentially I have to take my blood sugar before I eat anything in the morning, an hour after breakfast, an hour after lunch, and an hour after dinner. And so I essentially leave space for those readings and then any notes, which basically allows me to write down if there's something that's affected it. Usually the only ones that aren't as well controlled are my fasting blood sugars, and they're not out of control. They're like, they aim for 5.3, and I regularly have between 5, not regularly, but like a couple of times I've had above 5. I've had exactly 5.3, and a couple of times I've had 5.6, but it's nothing to worry about really. So yeah, that's kind of it for this spread. You may notice when I've done lines, I have tried to emulate a bit like the font, some lines and a couple of dots outside of the lines. That's kind of a similar thing to what is going on with the font, so I thought that would be cool. Sometimes it's a bit too wonky, others it's not. Last but not least, we are moving on to, not last but not least, there's a weekly to come still, Tilly. We are moving on to my goal plan. This is essentially where I take all of those action steps that were on my action step page and in my goals, like to achieve my goals, and write them out on a day that they're going to get done. So I decided to do second line highlights all through this calendar to make it easier to read. So I actually put those in before the black lines of the calendar. Because I work in full week cycles, March's cycle actually runs from the 3rd of March through to the 30th of March, and they're the weeklies that will be in my March section as well. So the second quarter to me starts on the 31st of March, which actually is my official first day of mat leave. I'm not in the hospital after the 7th of March, but I've got some teaching on the 11th I've got to go to, and then I'm on annual leave before my mat leave. So that's exciting. So like Q2 onwards I will not work. Q2, 3, 4 I will not work this year. But yeah, so that's my goal plan. Essentially it's just a 4x4 calendar, a 7x4 calendar, 4-week calendar, that one, running through those dates, and I added the dates in green and my second line highlight. Finally, I am working on my first weekly of March, and this will be the only week in March I'm, as I've just said, at work. My working days are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so that kind of explains how I set up this spread, because I have bigger boxes on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday. Then I have that area in the top right hand side for decoration, and to sort of fill up with whatever I fancy. So I put some papers and some decoration up there, as well as the week of the year, which this will be week 10. And then I have big boxes, I have longer boxes for Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, and smaller boxes for the days I'm at work, because I still have like I write my habits on my to-do list, because otherwise I forget to do them. I'm fairly sure I've got ADHD and I forget to put things in places, unless it's in front of my face. So I'm just finishing this off with, I've done a dark orange highlight, well, a dark yellowy orange highlight at the top of each box, and then I'm just second line highlighting the rest of it in the pale yellow, and I think that looks really cool, and that will actually be it for this monthly for this month's setup and spread. I'm really happy with how this came together. It's kind of, I've bought the stickers and I was like, this is the format I want to do for this month, but I don't know. I did actually make myself day of the week stickers for every week in this setup, so I'm just adding those in, plus some extra little bits of deco, and that will be it for this video, and we will move on to having a little flip through and a little look at all of the spreads. Let me know down below in the comments what's your favourite spread I did this month. I'm obsessed with my monthly. I think that's really cute, and I just like how functional this is. The problem with using a B6 is there's not that much space for decoration, but yeah, here I'm just showing how that page will just go into whatever week I'm on at the time. So I've got that information there and then. And that is it for this video. Comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!